Good evening, everyone. My name is Diamond Morquecho, and I am one of your many peers currently enrolled alongside you in this Teaching of Reading 4308 course. And today, I will be engaging in a video discussion board that depicts and demonstrates my personal philosophy of teaching reading. Before beginning, I would like to share why I believe an educator's personal philosophy is incredibly instrumental within the classroom. For one, an educator's core beliefs and values heavily influence the types of instructional decisions, practices, methods, and approaches that they choose to implement, and the type of classroom environment they choose to foster and cultivate. For this very reason, an educator's personal philosophy is not one that should be regarded lightly. And as a future educator in the making, I understand that my own personal philosophy will continue to be refined upon and shaped as I continue prospering into a professional educator and a more mature individual with varying life experiences and knowledge than I have now. Bearing this information in mind, I would like to share a few of my own core beliefs and values that I have that have shaped my personal philosophy of teaching reading. Beginning with strongly believing that reading is a foundational and intensely critical skill that allows students to navigate, process, and understand the world all around them. Reading is incorporated into a large majority of everyday life. This includes reading stop signs on the side of the road, to reading an item and locating it within a store, reading the labels on boxes, to even reading text messages. Letters and words can be found in just around every corner. And when students become proficient readers, the door of future literary and social opportunity widens, and they're able to continue expanding upon their prior knowledge, gain new information, and engage with other people and the situations around them, which in turn allows students to be successful in all areas of life, not just academically, but socially and emotionally. It is because of this core belief that reading is indescribably valuable that I believe reading should be taught with careful consideration. And this includes keeping in mind the diverse learners that may be within my classroom. Reading should not be taught using only one method or approach, but rather a variety of approaches and methods. One model that I've taken a great liking to this semester is the interactive model, which integrates both a bottom-up approach, which includes explicit systematic instruction that works to build a student's foundational reading skills before students are able to comprehend text, which begins with phonological awareness, moving towards phonemic awareness, and eventually bridging into phonics. And a top-down approach, which incorporates the utilization of a child's prior knowledge and experiences to help them make meaning of the text that they are reading. Both models, the top-down and bottom-up approach, come together to shape a student's overall comprehension of text, which is the ultimate and final goal of reading instruction. We want to make sure that these children are understanding what is being read. And through the integration of both approaches, this is made possible. An example of the interactive model in action includes me as an educator reading a story aloud during community circle time. Throughout the reading, I will briefly pause and ask my students questions and try to see what they are understanding, what they are making of the text, and to see if we're all on the same page as far as building that understanding and comprehension. At the end, I will hold a class discussion to ensure that understanding and comprehension were achieved for all students despite their individual and unique reading level. This ties into a top-down approach. While continuing instruction by incorporating a phonics spelling lesson, like let's say the book that we were reading included a unique spelling pattern such as EE or EA, then that will tie into a bottom-up approach, which we will cover the foundational aspects of learning to read primarily phonics and making that into a class assignment, a little assignment that can be done during class to ensure that the students are understanding and learning. It's incorporating both models into it. Alongside this notion, when considering an effective, comprehensive, and efficient reading program, one that includes an interactive model, it is important to recognize whether it incorporates the 5 essential components of reading, which includes phonemic awareness, the ability to hear, manipulate, and identify individual sounds in oral language, phonics, the understanding that written letters and letter combinations represent specific sounds and that blending those sounds together forms words. Fluency, the ability to read text with appropriate speed, accuracy, and with suitable expression for a child's grade level. Vocabulary, the understanding of word meanings. And finally, the ultimate goal and desired outcome of reading instruction, comprehension, which entails understanding what is being read. Each of these components build upon and rely on each other to form the critical foundations for learning to read and are ultimately the blueprint for effective and efficient reading instruction. And I believe in this heavily, and that is why I hope to incorporate all of these 5 essential components within my classroom throughout the year and in every aspect of my instruction. This is a major factor to consider when building and developing reading instruction within the classroom. Alongside this, I also believe that by creating a welcoming and positive literary environment is extremely foundational as well. An environment of this nature invites all students to practice their foundational reading skills at their own individual level and pace, unafraid to make mistakes, and in a manner that allows them to feel in control and accountable for their own learning, which in turn aids students in developing a positive association with reading, which is another huge goal because you want to instill a lifelong love and motivation to read. A positive literacy learning environment is one that includes a specific and designated area specific for reading that is both comfortable, well-lit, well-maintained, includes a variety of diverse learning materials, and is placed away from other areas in the classroom that may be distracting, such as a dramatic play area for the elementary grade levels, the younger elementary grade levels. Another core value that I feel shapes an effective educator is one who is able to correctly model reading, show students how to engage in reading and writing tasks, and is able to convey to students how and why reading holds a grand importance and value, not just in the academic setting, but beyond the classroom and into daily life. This includes allowing students to choose their own books that include topics of interest to them in the classroom library, which in turn allows educators to set the tone for future reading motivation and foster a lifelong love and association to and for reading. Lastly, in regards to my own personal philosophy of teaching reading, I believe that as an educator, it is critical to consider the ways in which I monitor the progress of reading, assess the progress of reading, and ensure that each student is achieving optimal learning level and that each student is receiving the support that they need to continue developing those literacy skills. Assessments that I will be choosing to utilize and implement and incorporate into my classroom to ensure the success of all my students and to gauge their respective literacy level within my course includes the Phonological Awareness Skills Test, or the PAST, P-A-S-T, the Motivation to Read Profile, or the MRP, and the Oral Reading Fluency Assessment, or ORF. Overall, in the main gist of all things, my personal reading philosophy encompasses that reading should be a task that students find interest in and are motivated to continue engaging in the long run. Through an interactive model a balanced literacy program, and the integration of the 5 crucial components of reading alongside a positive literacy learning environment, students will be able to thrive and become the proficient readers that they have the capability of becoming. Thank you so much. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please take good care, and I hope you have an amazing rest of the semester. Bye.